It's a lovely sunny day here today. However, the temperature is only 5 degrees and it is windy, so it's rather on the chilly side. And as you can see, if you look here, I have drained the pond once again. For those of you who saw my earlier video, you'll know that I had completely drained to clean it following a year of it sitting idle due to illness, and was hoping to get things up and running this spring. That is still my goal. But I found after filling the pond the other day, when I came out about 24 hours later, the water level had actually dropped by about 4 inches. Now, I was under the impression that it could be the bottom drain seal potentially got a bit jostled when I was doing a cleaning, and what I have decided to do is to drain it down again completely. I'll let it dry out. I'm going to take the cover off the drain, and then I have purchased some material to seal it with. I'm also going to reseal the inlets like the one you see here, just to make sure there's no leakage there. But what I did notice is we've had some inclement weather here for the past few days, so I didn't get out to do anything on the pond, and the water level reached the point where the inlets are, the water returns, and seemed to hold at that point, which leads me to believe it may not be the drain after all. And when I was speaking to my neighbor earlier today, he suggested or commented that perhaps something happened to the piping that runs underground to the pond, and that could be the reason for the leak. And he might be right in that regard. The level that the water had gone down to, which I allowed to drain out via the bottom drain and the sump system I have in the filter pit. At that point, the water lines and the drain line goes underground into my filter pit and then elevates slightly to get to where the filters are. And I'm wondering if indeed the lines are for some reason leaking, which didn't happen until I did the sort of cleaning, and maybe jostled something with a bit of water moving through the pipe. I'm honestly not sure. So I'm going to do this sort of step by step. Again, I just have to get down in the pond, finish getting this water out so I can take the bottom drain cover off, let everything dry thoroughly before I can put the sealant on. And then I'm going to gradually start to refill, and I'll keep an eye on the levels and see what happens. I'm certainly hoping that it's something that is easily repairable. If it does turn out the likelihood that it is the plumbing that's an issue underground, that's going to mean digging a trench of about 5 to 6 feet long, about 3 feet wide, and about 4.5 to 5 feet deep in order to access that plumbing. So that is not going to be fun, but something that will have to be done if the water continues to lose its level once it gets beyond the return lines where it had stopped previously. So I'm going to get going on that now. I will certainly update the video as things progress. I will make sure to show everybody as well the sealant that I'm using and how I'm putting it on the bottom drain. And as I said, hopefully that's something that maybe is the issue. At this point, I really don't know, following my neighbor's complaint. I certainly hope he was wrong, but only time will tell. So I'm going to get working on that now. We are expecting some more rain again over the weekend, although it is supposed to be a much milder temperatures, up to 12 to 15 degrees, maybe even 18 degrees next week. So I'm going to need a couple of dry days for things to thoroughly dry out in the pond in order to get that sealant on and get things taken care of. So that's step number one. And even if it's not the bottom drain or the returns that are causing the issue, I will know for sure because they're going to be properly resealed, and that will at least eliminate that. There definitely has not been any leakage into the filter pit from the line, so I know it's not through the filters, which leaves the only alternative again being the the underground plumbing, and that is going to be a pain in the back, quite literally, to dig that trench. But I will keep everybody updated, as I said, with more video as I move through the steps to correct the problem and hopefully get the koi outside. It is still very cold out here as far as the water is concerned, so they would not be coming out for another, likely 3 to 4 weeks anyway, which will give me time hopefully to get this done, weather permitting. So time to put the camera down and get to work on getting the pond fully drained so I can get the bottom drain looked after once it dries, and we'll take it from there. Stay tuned for more details. The remainder of the water has now been drained out of the pond, as you can see here, and that's it for today as far as anything getting done in the pond. I have to let everything dry out thoroughly. Let's get out of the way. You can see the bottom drain there. If I just get in here, that's the air inlet pipe that comes from underneath the drain actually to feed the dome here on top of the lid for the drain. And as I said, I'm just going to let things dry out. I'm going to reseal on top of all the existing caulking and everything here, and I'm going to reseal the inlets from the water returns, one there and the one on this side as well. I'm also going to adjust them slightly to redirect the water down towards the bottom of the pond. It'll stabilize the surface water from movement, so you get a bit better look at the koi when they're out here, and it will help to direct some of the water to the bottom drain via kind of a circular current. And that one down there is pretty much adjusted already. The one on the other side I will just do in a little bit, and then they will be sealed into place as well. So fingers crossed that this will take care of the problem. I am dreading having to dig that trench to dig up all the pipe work if that is the case, but if it is, so be it. And as you can see, just an absolutely gorgeous day, not a cloud in the sky, just a little on the chilly side. So work will continue, and I will provide another update shortly. After removing the eye that feeds the water back into the pond, making it adjustable, and just draining any excess water out of the opening here, when I took the eye, this part here, the eye and the ring off, I actually found this piece of concrete. Sorry about that. This piece of concrete inside the fitting itself. It was in here. Now, for those of you who have seen my earlier videos about my pond build, you'll know that I set these pipes into concrete before the underlay and the liner went in. So I have no idea how concrete could have gotten into this piece other than potentially through a broken connection at the back of it. Now, I did put my finger in as far as I could to see if I could feel anything. All I can really feel at this point is the silicone that sealed it originally. So I don't know whether there is anything down inside there. The fitting itself is rather long, so I don't have any way to reach in there. My fingers just aren't that long. So I'm going to see if any more water comes up. I have just used a vacuum to draw it out of there now. And if there is groundwater underneath it, that would certainly contribute to the fact I'm losing water through this particular fitting, with the water trickling down in there. And that might be the source of the leak. I don't know at this point. I'm going to do my best to reseal inside with some of the sealant that I'm going to use on the bottom drain. If it turns out after everything is resealed and I filled up part way that the water drops again, I'm going to take that to be potentially the culprit, and what I will do is cap it off and seal it, and just use the return on the other side of the pond as my mid-water in-pond return. And I am looking at building either a Baki shower or what I'm going to call a tower shower, which I will have in another video, which would be used as another return to the pond they will go either over the existing wall here, or I may just put a hole through the wall to bring the pipes through. I'm not sure at this point yet. But this could be the source of the problem, and I am hoping not. But there is definitely, a bit of water was in that pipe, and the concrete is what's kind of really puzzling me here, because that definitely should not be there. I know when I connected everything up, the fittings were sealed before the concrete was put into place, so this should not have been in there. So I'm kind of thinking that might be the source of the leak. Again, I do have to wait for things to dry out in here, and it is, again, rather chilly because of the temperature. I don't think the sealant works well in extremely cold temperatures. So if we get a dry, warmer day tomorrow, I'll get the first coat of sealant on both of those and the bottom drain, and I'm hoping to put 2 to 3 coats on altogether. And as I said, if the concrete is a telltale sign in that line, then that's actually a bonus for me, because that means no trench. And if not, if it still leaks after things are sealed, and this one potentially capped, then I will have to go forward with the trench digging. But I'm fingers crossed that this might be an unexpected blessing by finding this little piece of concrete in there. Not welcome by any means, but certainly could save an awful lot of work for an excavation. More to follow.